Well, we're here at Whatmough Park in Greensborough, and Panton Hill, his coach, has kindly came out to talk to us again, Mr. Dean Haydock. Dean, funny sort of game today?
Yeah. It's one of those games where, you know, we're trying to maintain our momentum, and you come up against a side that, you know, unfortunately can't make finals, but, you know, at the same time we'll always try to take a big scalp. So you've really got to be wary of, you know, sides like St Mary's.
Every time we've been here, they've given us a real good game, though. They're really, they're a young side, and we'll be talking to the coach of St Mary's shortly. But they're a young side, but they seem to give as much as they've possibly got, but they'll only last for 5 or 10 minutes in each quarter.
Yeah.
Will that come with experience, do you think?
Oh, definitely. And it's one of those ones that, it's one thing we always make mention of on Thursday nights, and it happens time and time again with St Mary's, and not just because BK stand next to me, but we know every time we play St Mary's, they come to play. And if you're down by 5 or 10%, you know, they can run all over you. And I think, look, what we did well today was those 10-minute bursts they gave us in the start of those quarters, we just managed to, I suppose, hold on and make it level pegging, and then probably just with bigger bodies and a little bit more experience, the last 10 minutes of the quarters we're probably able to kick a few goals. But that just comes with, I suppose, an experienced side and a bigger body side. So.
Yeah, I noticed today in the first quarter, and I did pay particular attention today, Dean.
I'm glad you did, Johnny.
Yes, because you have accused me of not being at the same game a couple of times during the year.
Yeah.
And I've only kicked the first goal last week when you made a mistake. In the first quarter, we rotated a lot. We seemed to rotate a lot more than we normally would do. Any reason for that?
Oh, look, no, we just wanted to get blokes into the game as quick as possible. So we just wanted to get them through and you know, give blokes 10, 7-minute spurts and let them go. And, you know, these guys are a young, quick side. So you've got to rotate and give blokes rest where you can, and that's what we tried to do. And, you know, again, we have got a few older bodies, and you know, and you're also trying to be conscious of, you know, in the back of your mind, finals is coming up as well. So you don't hate for anybody to do anything silly or get injured, and we just try to rotate blokes through.
Yeah, I listened to your quarter time address today, and you were quite pleased with the first quarter.
Yeah, it was inspirational, wasn't it, John?
Oh, well, no, never. Well, you're not an inspirational speaker at all. You're really just down to earth sort of bloke. I've never seen you or heard you raise your voice, really.
No.
You're very quiet and very relaxed and very purposeful in what you say. So, and I do that as a credit to you, Dean, not as a. It doesn't. I'm not trying to take the mickey out of you.
No, thanks, John. I'm glad you said something positive. It's taken about 20 weeks, John, but you finally said something positive about me, mate, which is great. But yeah, look, and BK probably knows the same thing. There's only so many times that you can actually, I suppose, get up your side without that losing context, that losing focus. So, you know, you just got to go with what you've got, and you know, we try to actually look at and accentuate the positive that's been going on, whilst trying to pick up a few negatives that we need to rectify, and that's what I try to do every week, without, you know, trying to rant and rave, because as I said, there's only so many times you do that before your side actually switches off.
And at half time, I also went into the rooms and listened to your half time talk, and you were pretty pleased with the first half.
Yeah. Look, the boys did well. The boys, you know, we got to really a good lead, and as I said, we were able to weather the storm and go on with it. And you know, you take against St Mary's, you'll take, you know, I think we won by might have been 10 goals, and you'll take that any time against them. You know, so it was really good. Well,
the third quarter was a quarter that. I remember at three-quarter time when I heard you talking, you asked for a bigger effort and to stop mucking around with the ball. We were short passing it too much, chipping it about, and to go long. Oh, look, I think that's what happens. You know, you can get in front of a side, which we were, and then all of a sudden I just found that one of our negatives, we're just trying to give it up too much and chip it around and pass it off. And you know, in the end, I just said to the boys, if you got the option, just kick the goal, aim for the goal and kick the goal. Don't try to be too smart with it. Don't try and give it off to each other. Don't try and, in the end, I suppose, dick around with it, Johnny. Just kick the goals and put it away. And that's something, you know, they're trying to get each other in the game, but it can work to your detriment, because if you turn the ball over, you know, a side like St Mary's just run the ball up and kick goals, and it happened in the last quarter. I think they might have piled on 3 or 4 goals last quarter, just because I think we were just mucking around with it. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. The last quarter, I thought the last quarter was our blooming worst quarter, to be perfectly honest, because what you asked them to do a three-quarter time just went in one ear and out the other. Look, it did, and we mouthed off a couple of times and got a few on the wrong side of the umpires, and it cost you. You know, to kick 2 goals in a row, and you know the money that BK paid him at the end of the game has probably, you know, come to fruition. better players for the day, Dean?
I thought, look, Callum Still played well up forward. I think he might have finished with 5 goals. And I thought young Anthony Bryce played really well too. He kind of set us going from the start. He actually drove the ball out of the back line really well. So, 2 young kids played really well. And again, we're very lucky having Abe Williams come back this time of the year. Just his body work over the ball is very good.
Like he's never been away, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Well, look, he's injury free, Johnny, and to have a play come in for that side, he's really good. And I suppose in the end, just imagine how good our side's going to be when I come back too, Johnny.
Oh, I've got to put up with this every week, Brent. I've got to put up with this every week. There was a couple we left out today or pulled out at the last minute.
Yeah, they did. Well, look, in the end...
2 key players too.
Look, Zach and Simo both pulled out last night. They're both a little bit sore, and in the end we said we probably don't want to risk them come up finals. They're a little bit sore, so we said, why not give other blokes a go who want to put their hand up for finals.
Yeah. Well, we're just going to leave a quick message, Dean, and then we'll be straight back with our guest, Brenton.
All right.
Well, we're back here at Whatmough Park, and we're privileged to have Brenton. I don't know what his second name is. I've forgotten that already. Yeah. That's disgrace, isn't it? Coach of the St Mary's, the coach of the St Mary's side. Welcome to our small segment here, Brenton. The first time we've had you on.
Thanks,
hopefully it won't be the last one, because you're the only one we've ever invited, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's good to know.
Yeah. Brenton, look, I know it's very difficult to answer this question, but how do you put up with the strain of coming out week in and week out and playing 10 minutes of footy, good footy, and then having to come in after the game and being done by 6, 8, 10 goals?
You just got to try and look at the positive side of things at times. If you hand in all the negatives and just keep bashing all the players down, they won't respond. So, we've got a lot of injuries, we've got a lot of blokes out. So we've played 11 kids out of our under 18s this year. So we just look at the positive side of things. If we're going to get on the negatives, players won't respond at all. So we sent a message at 3/4 time when Doc's message went in one ear and out the other. We sent a message that we wanted to try and win the quarter, and I don't know if we did end up winning it, but it was very close. It was very close to it, and they're the sort of things we've got to draw from.
I thought your best quarter was the fourth quarter, to be perfectly honest. I think the first quarter you started off, first 10 minutes was excellent.
Yep.
And I thought the last 15 minutes of the last quarter was even better.
Yeah, we try to. One of our aims is to get off to good starts in games like this, where we just ask our players to really get their head and their body over the ball. But Panton's Hill decision making is a hell of a lot better than ours. Doc's quite happy for them to go backwards and sideways and switch to the other side of the ground, but our players tend to get stuck towards the footy, and when the ball does go sideways and go backwards, we're nowhere there to be seen. So it's something we need to work on.
And that's just down to experience, though, Brenton, isn't it?
It does come down to experience, but we get sick and tired of playing every week, and they say, they're a good bunch of kids. We're a footy side. We're still trying to improve from it, and we've got a lot of improvement to do. But as I said, you can't dwell on the negatives. We've got to stick with their positives and what they are.
Yeah, but you haven't been together that long, though, Brenton, have you?
No, 4 years the club, or 4 or 5 years the senior club's been around, but we've still got a lot of blokes who playing in the senior side who were just fill-ins. They basically got a phone call and said, we're starting a footy club, do you want to come down and play? And they're still the people holding our senior side together, and that does make it hard because they're not natural footballers. They've probably had 4 or 5 years off, so it does take a while to gel. And to be brutally honest, the club was probably 3 or 4 years ahead of itself in playing finals the last couple of years. The standard of third division's gone up dramatically, and with Docker getting his wallet out and paying 120 grand a year, it makes it hard for us.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, Brendan. I was just going to bring that up to be perfectly honest. You beat me to the punch there, mate.
I think our player budget this year is about 30 grand compared to 130, so it makes.
That's a beep we'll have to take out now.
Especially when the senior coach is getting 10 times more than I'm actually getting. And I'll give you one thing though, it doesn't help when Docker's ringing our players like Carners during the last couple of weeks trying to get him up to Panton Hill for next year already. So these things don't get past us, Doc.
Brendan, I've got some notes here. And I'm sorry I'm leaving you out of this, Dean. I've got some notes here that our team manager put down. Dylan Reynolds is the most influential today. What do you think of his game?
Yeah, he's pretty good, Dilly's. He's a class act for our division. He got offers last year to go play first division. For his credit, he stuck with us and came down. He's a very good player. He's extremely quick when he gets it and knows how to use the footy. He just lets himself down at times with a bit of foot skill at times. But he's one of our better players. He won our best and fairest last year. Deservedly.
Yeah, I noticed him popping up number one every ball over the ground.
Yep.
Did he have any one set position, or was he on the ball today?
He started on the ball, and he swaps predominantly forward when he's buggered and needs a rest basically. But he's the kind of bloke who only gives himself a minute, then he goes back up forward again. So.
And Adam Carnell, I got him down also.
Yeah, Carness is just he goes in 8, 9, 10 minute bursts, and then he's stuffed. He has to come off for 3 minutes, and he goes back on and does it again. He's, for a bloke who's 5'3", he really does have a crack, but he runs himself ragged and has to come off. And he's probably been in our best players the last 6 or 7 weeks, Carness.
And Troy Bickett into the ruck. He did well all day in the ruck, I thought.
Yeah,
he
Bicko,
made it very hard for Teddy today.
Yeah, he's a good ruckman, Bicko. He knows how to use his body well. I was talking to Doc before the game. He's played about 170 games and kicked 1 goal for his whole career. So we might try and sneak him forward late in the year and see if he can get one. But he's been great for us, Bicko.
It was actually a good contest between the two of them.
It was.
They were good.
It was. For us, it was lucky. Bicko walked in off the street and said, "I want to play." We said, "Yeah, beautiful, mate. Anyone that size, no worries." We didn't
Boxy played his 200 game for us against West Heidelberg about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We tried to do that with him, get him a goal in the last quarter and snuck him down the forward. Useless, mate. You don't do that, no.
No good. Well, he'd be no good down there. He'd have to be accountable. Find a man. He floats around across half back and does, does whatever he wants.
Actually, I thought their ruckman did really good, actually. And, he's going to look really good in a black and red jumper next year, I think, Johnny.
Well, if you want to get another bloke over the age of 35 up there, you're more than welcome. You got enough of them already. So Bicko's 36, lives up the road. But the only problem is Bicko has trained once for the whole year.
So is Teddy. Don't worry about it.
He's been here once. So.
And I've got a note down here, number 8, Lee Minch was a bit quiet today, and he's usually pretty good for you. You agree with that?
Yeah, Leroy was a bit quiet, but he just does a job down back when you give him a job. You go and tell him to pick someone up, and you just stand next to him all day. If the bloke runs the other way, Lee will go the other way with him. So some days he's really good, and other days he's a bit slow, but he does his job down back, Leroy.
And Brenton, how long have you been coach of the St Mary's club? I don't know. So
this is my second year.
Second year. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's a good club to be. They're a good bunch of young kids, and they if we get them to play footy like they party at night, we'll be up there. But it's a very good club. It's all young, but we're all learning lessons the whole way through, and we've got a lot of committee members learning lessons too. So
that's good, mate.
It's a good place to be.
This one to you, Dean. We got a bye next week.
Yep.
And then we play Heidelberg West.
Yep.
And then we play Reservoir. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yep.
What's the plans for the next week or two, mate?
Look, it's probably just managing bodies now. Where we're lucky enough that I think we'll finish on top now. So we just manage. Like as I said, Simo and Zach both a little bit sore today. So just giving the ref. I know Teddy's been a little bit sore. It's a fine line between managing plays but also trying to keep the momentum going, and that's what we'll try to do. And hopefully roll into that. I think it'll be the second semi, first week, Johnny. With no injuries and all ready to go.
Surely there's a couple of blokes you can get up from Heidelberg for the next couple of weeks to play finals for you.
Would it be nice to get Benny Parker back? I've heard Benny Parker might want to come back for a game, BK.
No, he's no good.
Let's see if Benny wants to come back and play.
No.
Well, every time everyone asks me, and I've just got to bring this up again, Dean. But every time somebody asks me why Joff is not playing up to full forward, that's the excuse I use. Benny Parker is not at cross halfback, and there was nobody else there that we could get to fill Benny's place. So we had a good power forward coming to the club, so that's why Joff is playing at
that is correct. And I keep reiterating, these first 3 weeks he was absolutely terrible.
First two, Dean.
Johnny, his first 3 weeks was terrible. He couldn't get a kick. Don't try and suck up to him because he's your son, Johnny. No, the first couple of weeks he was absolutely terrible, so we put him across the back, and all he had to do was run forward. He just still doesn't pick up a man. He was the only loose player at the ground, so if he can't get a kick being a loose player, then I don't know where we're going to put him.
He can come play for us. I'll have him.
Fellas, you've been great. It's very nice of Dean to come out every week, Brenton, and give us a crap that he does. Sometimes it's good crap, sometimes it's funny crap, and sometimes it's just downright nasty. Today he's been very good, and we want to thank you also because your team plays with the spirit of the game. There wasn't one incident out there today that I could say was grey. And we always
that 50-metre penalty I gave away.
We always like coming here and playing St Mary's because you're just such a good bunch of people, not just out on the playing field but in the club itself. So we want to thank you very much for your time, and also the club for allowing us to use this whatever it is out here that we're standing on. I'll have to edit that bit out too, I think.
You will, Johnny.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, mate.